Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. Masters Bangkok is just about to get underway, but big drama hitting the timeline last night. Not just Rostermania action happening with TALON over there in the Pacific, big drama there, but also what's going on in North American game changers with SR Gold seriously under fire as of last night. Fluorescent getting involved in some of the drama as well. Zellsis with some thoughts on G2 going into Bangkok. Very much interested in your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Pretty funny clip. I think, you know, likely he was talking about Z, if that's what they call the kind of back alley bits here on Split, but just a funny screenshot, right, because there is no C-bomb site on Split, buddy. Now, let's talk about this Game Changers drama, right? Because, well, first of all, it's not even really Game Changers, it's more Challengers League, but it's certainly relevant to the Game Changers scene, as we'll see in a second. So we know that Rankers, they advanced to 4-0, and yesterday there was a very important game to go to 0-4. Of course, the loser of that would lose the entire thing. There was also a big game, Qubit versus Trust in Plug. They played yesterday, and Qubit Academy, they take the 2-1 win. Trust in Plug, pretty good team, as we know. They, well, had the way with 100T a while ago, but, yeah, Qubit, great series, especially here from Redux, and it was a 2-1, so close series. Joe and then the guys on the other side put up a pretty good fight. They won the map 13-7, but after that it was 13-8 on the Binds. Redux had a great map and then had a demolition job on the Fracture, 13-4 on the Rays. So, yeah, good performance from Redux, Knights, T-Dog, Scuba, and Nisma. Of course, this Qubit Academy team has beaten basically everyone that they've played, apart from losing to Rankers, right? So, yeah, impressive stuff from them so far. But the other very important series of yesterday, and Qubit I think will now play M80 very shortly, was what happened down at the bottom. So the team to go 0-4, you know, they're going to be relegated, like they're not making it, of course, into the playoffs, and we saw that that was potentially going to be the Shopify Rebellion Gold team. So this was the game that they played, and they went down 0-2. It was, you know, not especially close. I think it was maybe a 13-8 on the Fracture. So, yeah, it was, I mean, this map wasn't terrible. The split was 13-5, though. And, of course, SRG did incredibly well to qualify for the Challengers League in the first place. Of course, you know, winning Ascension as they have done for some time. But of course, Fluorescent leaves, goes over to Apex, right? So they're kind of left looking for a new player, but they still qualified anyway, right? Great achievement for Mel and the rest of those girls to get into the Challengers League, and it left FlyQuest Red, of course, being the favourites down there in the Game Changer side, but as we saw yesterday, that didn't exactly go to plan. But the notable thing of this series, as you will tell looking at the names, is, okay, where's Dodonut, right? Like their primary duelist, the player who's meant to be in that role for this roster. Noya, Mel, Alexis, Sarah Cat, and, you know, the fifth. But that was not how things transpired. So Mel says, GG's 0-2, we play in the promo relegation tournament to fight for our spot rights. They're not getting guaranteed relegation for sure, but they still got to fight for the spot going forwards. What else is there to say? If we want to compete, we need to play at a higher level, unacceptable, whatever. But what she doesn't mention is the fact that their duelist is currently in Japan. Now, I mean, this is something that you don't often see, and there is talk about the fact that Dodonut potentially had this, you know, vacation plans in advance, but it's still one of these things where, as a professional player in a professional team, it's pretty rare to take a vacation during the season. I mean, they weren't intending, or like not intending, but weren't expecting to qualify for challenges they have done. So maybe this is all plans and it's fine and the team are okay with it. But I don't know if that's so clear, right? Like, how often do you see this scenario where a player in what was a very important game, look, were they going to not make the playoffs anyway? Okay, yeah, sure. But this was effectively an elimination relegation game. You lose this, you're guaranteed to be playing in the promotion relegation tournament. So, you know, it's an important match. And yet your player is out there in Japan having a holiday, right? So I think there's a big debate as to whether the team are happy with this, like are the organization happy with this, are the players happy with this? Because maybe I'm just missing the tweets, but I've not really seen any, you know, teammates, certainly Mel, come out and say, oh, you know, like, hope she has a great time, like, you know what I mean, like, this sort of thing. And it looks like her boyfriends said the following: the org took the risk knowing in advance that she'd be gone on those dates. At the time she signed, who knew they'd have even made challenges? So I guess that's the point, right? That the org, like, I guess when she signs, it was clear with the org that that was pre-planned, that she was going to go on those dates. And then, you know, they weren't even expecting maybe to make challenges anyway. But still, if you're a teammate, you might be looking at this thinking, like, you know, let's be real. Are we trying to be serious? Are we trying to be professional? Are we trying to win? Or what exactly is the goal here at the end of the day, right? So I do understand that mentality as well. And Floor tweeted this out: if I say what I think, I'll be suspended 6 months. Well, obviously the Arteta comment. So it's kind of interesting whether Floor is discussing the fact that a team has lost and being like, oh, look at you guys getting knocked out of challenges but for getting rid of me. But obviously, I don't think Floor would be roasting the team like that. Obviously, he likes those guys, won a lot with, you know, the girls on that roster. So, like, why would she just be roasting them in this way? I don't really see that being viable. I think it's more likely that what Floor's talking about here is the fact that Dodo was on vacation in a particularly important relegation game. I think that is the story of the day, and that's why Floor may be kind of hinting at here and saying that, yeah, I'm not sure if that should exactly have been the case, and also kind of implying maybe that behind the scenes there has been some discussion on the matter. So we'll leave it there for the time being and tweeting your thoughts in the comments below. One other bit of drama, thanks to VST Scrimmers pointing this out to me. So yesterday, Team Falcons Vega have picked up this guy Biggie. Now, well, his name has gone around for a couple of years now. He's their head coach now for the new Game Changers APAC team for Team Falcons Vega. And it turns out that this guy has been involved in quite some drama in previous years over, I think, initially match fixing that he was accused and basically found guilty of. And then also, maybe in the CS days, the coach bug is what I'm presuming happens. And it turned out there was lots of drama last year, right? Because, as Mitch says, I'm still not over the fact that they signed, he's talking about here, an active serial cheater, Biggie, during an active ban. And he put out this screenshot here of Biggie going, you know, having a really tough map. And Ryan Central at the time said, Mitch don't miss, neither did Biggie, but that was for a totally different reason because he was cheating, right? And then here he is going 3 and 14. And apparently shortly after this one, Mitch then got blocked by this Biggie guy. So, you know, match fixer and coach bug abuser, now trying to make it as a Valorant player. No, thank you, he says. And now a Valorant coach. So, yeah, thought that was pretty funny. Biggie, this guy must have the best, you know, he must be a sweet talker because he's still getting these gigs after all of this time. But I also wanted to talk about some of the drama going into Masters Bangkok. This was Zellsis doing a little assessment here, and he was asked, who's your favourite team to play against? And he says, it's G2, no doubt about it, because we're going to slam those guys when we play them again. Dirk was even asked this question, he put this on his story, are you sad that you didn't win champs with Fnatic? And he says, no, I'll win without them, no problems at all. And I think there is a realistic chance here that Vitality have an absolute performance in Bangkok. We'll have a look at some of the talent predictions in a couple of minutes' time. Before we get there, some drama on the roster size coming out of APAC. Now, this is a big deal, and it's sad to see this actually. Like, I didn't really want this to be the case, but it did feel a little bit inevitable, unfortunately, that after Talon, they didn't make it as they wanted to. To be fair, they made a decent run, but they would have thought, well, you know, with Primi, maybe there's a chance we can make it to Bangkok, and they weren't a million miles away, to be fair, but they did lose when it mattered in the end. Ban and Governor, the duo that came over and joined those guys, you know, November 2023, they, it seems, are now going to be out of the team, and it seems like Ban has effectively confirmed this as well. Great players, I think, and it is unfortunate to see them go, but imports at the end of the day, right, came from America, but obviously Korean players as well, that, you know, they have decided, it seems, potentially, I'm not exactly sure what they've decided, but the rest of their team, right, Cruz, Jit Boys, and of course Primi and their substitutes, and even their, you know, manager are Thai, right? So, you know, whether there's a question on that they're going to do that, it is a question as to whether that's the plan. There were some rumours going around that at least their replacements are going to be pretty good, but yeah, it's unfortunate those guys have been removed in the way that they have done. Rocket Bullets talks about it as well and says, you know, feel sick to my stomach, and Fade says that poor Banny was collateral damage, and, you know, I think this is probably fair enough, right? There may be Governor, I kind of get it, but Ban, I did always really rate quite highly. So, you know, the idea of getting rid of him, obviously, it's not like either of them plays maybe especially well recently, but still, I think it's a tough one. But at the end of the day, if you've not made the success you want to make, then it's understandable that the team is going to blow it up. And Ban even tweeted this out, which I think makes it very, very clear indeed that he ain't on that roster any longer. So, yeah, wishing all of those guys the best. We'll see who their replacements are going to be relatively shortly. Just a couple couple of scrim bucks. NRG played 100T, 7-17 it seems, so that's interesting. Of course, with the new NRG roster with Brook on the roster and the new head coach in Mike's. This was also just tweeted out here. Now, of course, this could be for various reasons, but there was a screenshot around that Gen.G with Karon and Texture, of course, they didn't make it to Masters Bangkok. They fell short. Obviously, it's T1 and DRX that are going to be there representing APAC for the tournament. And Foxy9 was spotted actually not in the same scrim as them. So that's interesting, right? Are they making a change? Sims in the reply says, Gen.G ban, let's cook. I mean, I don't know, maybe nothing is impossible at this point with the decisions that Talon may be making. But as I promised, here you go with the talent predictions for the weekend. So, most played map, top average ACS player, first team eliminated is interesting. Liquid, DRX, Liquid. So a couple of votes here for Liquid, but winner I think is what people are mostly interested in. And, G2, Golden Boy, Mimi, Spacker, they're going, at Vu, and then Spacker gone for Vitality, right? But yeah, so G2... as I say, probably the tournament favourites. Is that fair? I don't know. I think, to me, in terms of favourites between G2 and Vitality, Edward Gaming also given a shout in here as well, and that's fair enough. The reigning world champions, they could really get back to form. It's absolutely not impossible. Sentinels can't be too far out of the conversation either. And my feeling is that it's absolutely possible that one of the Pacific teams makes the final. I'm just not sure if I see, one of the Pacific teams, T1 or DRX, winning it, in my opinion. And if G2 play the way that they did for a large part of the Americas stage, I think they will win. Vitality impressed me a lot, but again, I have some questions on the competition in Europe right now because I don't really think they played some of the teams at the level that they should have played them, let's be honest. But very much interested in your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.